I still hear every day, as do fitness professionals all over the world, we hear, I must be gaining weight because I have a slow metabolism. Read this graph and tell me how that works. As you gain weight, gravity is pulling harder on your body's tissues. That's the whole weight gain thing, right? That the scale is just measuring gravitational pull on your mass. Well, that's a horrible term, isn't it? Calling the body mass. That's the right term, but still. So as we gain weight, we literally have to burn more calories to keep from falling down each day. Gaining weight increases metabolism. It's also more tissue. That tissue requires calories to deliver nutrients to keep the tissue alive. Gaining weight increases metabolism. Well, it's not a slow metabolism, that's an increasing metabolism, but yet look at the trend in reported intake. This is not possible. You can't gain weight and decrease intake. At least not body fat. Could gain water, but not body fat. So we're lying to ourselves. Notice I keep saying we. I'm not trying to convict anybody. I'm just as human and American as everybody else in the room. So it all comes down to this. And unfortunately, I'm having to tell you something you knew and didn't want and hoped wasn't true. It's the first law of thermodynamics. It's a law of physics just like a law of gravity. So E, now the E represents energy. How do we measure energy in a human body? Or in your food? What do we call it? Calories. All right, technically it's a kilocalorie, but don't worry about that. It's calories. All right, so when calories in equal calories out, then body fat or weight is stable. Let me relate this to something else. We'll call it money. When you make the same amount of money that you spend, then you don't end up with more money in savings. Okay? The human body doesn't have credit, so throw that idea out the window. When we make more money than we spend, we have greater savings. That's all body fat is stored energy. When we spend more money than we earn, the American way, all right, then we have less savings. Anybody who has ever told you I'm the same weight I was in high school, that's what they did. Over however many years it's been since they graduated high school, this is where the equation is balanced out. They've been at maintenance. Calories in have equal calories out regardless of what programs they've gone through. If they've gained weight, they've eaten more than they burned. Every time. Now that could be muscle weight too. We have to eat the nutrients that builds the muscle. But if we've gained weight, we've consumed more than we've burned. And if we've lost weight, I don't care if you call it Atkins, Pritikin, grapefruit diet, my favorite, Neanderthal. Have you heard of this thing? The caveman diet. It was a hilarious book. Anybody who's lost weight, regardless of what program they followed, they burned more calories than they consumed, or they ate less than they burned. So, what's the bottom line? If you want to lose weight, what do you have to do? Eat less and move more. We could end the seminar right there and you'd have all the truth you'd ever need. So you know what's cool about this? This is always the bottom line. This is always the last fact that matters. All of those other things that we throw in there that really are part of the equation. The kids, actually my wife's dealing with this tonight. We've got both kids that have two different things that they have to do, and yet we somehow have to, she tonight, somehow has to manage to try to get a nutritious meal in them, and get my daughter's homework done, and get the piano practice done, and you know, be mommy, and not crazy mommy. And somehow take care of her too. Genetics, the pressures of the job. You know, I'd kind of like to go out and have a drink with my friends, especially with the nice weather. We're gonna have a beer on the porch. All of these factors, so what? It all comes down to how do they affect which side of this equation. Does that beer make you consume more calories? Okay, if it does, then what do you need to do to balance that out? Move more. If you want to lose weight, move more, eat less. Now you have no excuses.